Hello again, 102ers. We've made it through the first week of the semester, and now it's time to roll on, picking up the pace and hurtling towards the next one. Are you ready? Okay, seriously, the NFL season is starting, the semester's going, the world continues to spin. I think this is it's going to be a good semester. So what do you think? Starting off, I wanted to show you how to read each announcement, and this happens to be this week's announcement. All of them will follow the same format. First, I'm going to have some sort of a greeting here. It's going to be dad funny, whatever. It's also going to tell you what we did the last week. And then it's going to tell you what we're going to be doing the next week. Then, most of the time, the fourth paragraph is pretty much begging you to watch the video. Because the video is important. I spend a lot of time doing it. So, please, 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 please. Honestly, after that, we have the video linked. And as you can see here, I have a chapter listing. It tells you exactly what each part of the video is. So you can click on the time and go right to that video on YouTube. You don't even have to, you can skip through things if you just don't want to see my greeting or the weekly schedule or whatever. Okay? After that, we have previews, which means this stuff isn't due this week, but it's probably a good idea to take a look at. We have what's to read, therefore the things that we are going to be talking about this week. I also have the documents here, and if there are any embedded videos within each document, I also tell you what the direct link to YouTube is for each one of those. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra videos this week, if you would care to watch them. I didn't make them, so it might actually be something for you to pay attention to. Who knows? After that, on the bottom, we always have the assignments. I tell you when they are due by. They're always going to be due on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And I tell you exactly what we have to do, when we have to do it, and here are the two assignments. So how do we find that out? Well, if we go back, come on, there we go. We go back to the main page and we click on the masterclass schedule. It will come to this page here, and we are in week 2. As you can see, we're starting off on a day that everybody's closed. Great, have fun. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 things to read. We have 2 assignments to do, and everything's due on Sunday, September 7th. So, let's just jump right into it, shall we? In choosing search terms for sources, it's really a quick shot of understanding where I start to tell you how to use search terms. Truthfully, I'm not too keen on this page as some of the information is nowhere detailed enough. Some of it is antiquated and incorrect. So let me give you some ideas. The research plan here is a solid one with a couple of tweaks. You're already selecting the debatable academic topic, and you obviously must read more about that topic. Your research questions must be developed and listed, and then you can create some search terms to search for sources. So there was a problem with that research plan. In order to read more about the topic, you have to search for sources first. So how can you read in step 2 while you're searching in the 4th step? Basically, you need to select that topic, generate the research questions, get those search terms, and then find the sources to read. Once you do then you can go back and ask better questions or revise the old ones and then do the process all over again. It's more cyclical and less only 4 steps. So there's your search terms. You can find this stuff here. Honestly, like here, once you search your sources up, you're going to want to put ideas in. Now, they say that you can't just ask questions, and that's absolutely incorrect. First, there was a search engine in the days before man went on social media, and it was called Ask Jeeves. See? Everybody. This is Jeeves. Jeeves, this is everybody. Let's continue, okay? The only way to get what you wanted from Jeeves was to ask Jeeves a question. A literal question, people. Just because Jeeves has long since retired does not mean that you still can't ask questions just to get you started. The point that whoever wrote this page is trying to make is that the volume of words that you use within the search will affect the returning results. The more you put in, the less you get back. The less you put in, the more you get back. Why? The search looks for all the words mentioned. So if a search is too specific, you're going to miss some things. If you put in medical practice Gettysburg, you might actually get results telling you that the Gettysburg Medical College also practices golf on Thursdays. You'd have to add certain keywords like Civil War in quotes, like down here, and take out certain things, like adding a hyphen for minus and the word golf to eliminate that result. There are these things called Boolean or Boolean operators. You can use a plus sign or a minus sign, or the words and or to manipulate the results accordingly, just like here. If you wanted to find anything out there with anesthesia or Civil War, it would come back with anything with either of these two phrases in the document. See how easy that is? So then underneath it, there's an absolute need by one of the instructors for you to use Credo, even though it's my least favorite of all the database engines that we have access to. You're 100% welcome to use it, as I showed you in the first week, but you are not required to do so. I think SIRS is much nicer. Finally, oh, there we go. So there it is. So SIRS, or Credo, I'm sorry. Next, we have finding sources on the internet. It's pretty basic, but it's necessary to remind you of one of the most important rules for looking for anything on the internet. Just because it's on the web does not mean it's true. Sincerely, please think before you use anything you find on the internet. So this page here is to keep that in your head. Just because you can find it with a few clicks doesn't mean that it's worthwhile. I would recommend watching this video on Google search tricks. It's really helpful. Because while you think you can Google stuff, very few of you actually know the different tips and tricks which make your searches more powerful. Under that, there's a list of helpful websites. So this is how you would do the search terms, the Boolean operators, search operators. Here's the helpful website. They moved it down a little bit on me since the last time I did this. There we go. It's a list of helpful websites that you can look through to find some pretty solid data for your argument. You can trust that material was compiled in an above-board way on these pages. So all of these are going to work. Like we have theeconomist.com, harpersmagazine.org, insider.com, npr.org, newsweek.com, newyorktimes.com, popular science or popsci.com. You'll understand in a second why I keep saying .com. And then this middle section down here is a collection of problematic websites. Now, Wikipedia is not a problematic website, okay? It is a tool that is misused, but it's a good place to get a general understanding of your topic. Don't be afraid to go there because your high school English teachers were lazy. Also, don't ignore .coms, okay? That's commercial websites, because the English teacher said so. Look at the list of helpful websites again up top. There are a bunch of .coms listed there, so you can use them. Just don't be lazy about it. Be sure to vet them first. Then back up here, Procon. It's a decent site to get you the whole picture, but it doesn't lock into one side or the other. It's not very good for arguments. It's basically a both sides website. University Wire is another not bad website, but it's one that is all student writing, so that the research and attention to detail may not always be the best. Always avoid personal blogs and websites because they're nothing more than the ramblings and opinions of the site's author. There's rarely any facts to be had. And then once again, commercial websites, don't worry about all of them. Just pay attention to which ones you are using, okay? Okay, next is finding journal articles. Finding sources using databases. This isn't going to be a long one, I promise. I think there's a long-standing misconception by students and teachers alike that source material has to be incomprehensible and lofty to be any good. Don't get me wrong. There are many, many absolutely brilliant sources out there in the world that are superbly written, impeccably researched, and peer-edited that are amazing complements to anyone's research. But when do you actually need them? So right now, you're enrolled in what amounts to a freshman composition course. This is practically the same course that you would have at any accredited college anywhere in this country. You are learning how to put the material together, and you are learning how to make your voice heard. What you do not need are these amazingly intricate academic journals that are geared towards those in master's level and doctorate level or beyond programs. It would be like asking my third grader to read To Kill a Mockingbird. While he might be able to get most of the words, he'd never grasp the threads between the ideas. It's not because he's not smart enough, but it's because he doesn't have that necessary experience yet. What I'm trying to say is this. I want to see you research your topic academically. I want to see you dip your toe in and wade into the databases to find those journals, but don't expect to have immediate comprehension. These are things that you really have to work hard to understand. So, if you say, Mr. Christopher, I have 2 articles here on pulsed field ablation helping arrhythmias from the Journal of the American Medical Association and the New England Journal of Medicine, I'll say, absolutely fantastic. Can you explain them to me because I am not well versed enough to understand the top 2 medical journals in the world? Can you help me? Then, after your jaw gets picked up off the floor, we can try to find more accessible source material to use. Okay? So here's where you find them, the databases which we talked about first week, the database which you can look at again here. Or you can always go back to the main page here. You'll be under Student Resources, find Student Success Toolbox, Library, and then right here is a list of all the databases that you can use. Wonderful, isn't it? Okay, great. And we have this one. Perfect. There's also another link to using EBSCOhost that might help you. And then that works, okay? Finally, I do believe we end up with evaluating sources. So, the scholarly sources that are here are really written for high-level audiences, edited by experts in the field and published in reputable and recognizable sources. They are the best of the best, but they aren't always the best for you. Remember my example previously about the third grader reading To Kill a Mockingbird? Try this one. If you find an article that is brilliant, but it's written in Swahili and you don't speak Swahili, what good is it? Use sources that you can understand. Oh, there we go. Use sources that you can understand and sources that fit with your audience awareness. So, you can look at what a scholarly source is, something I've just been talking about. Not using a scholarly source, well, obviously you don't want to use National Enquirer or In Touch or anything like that. And then it tells you kind of how to do all this. Now, I want to spend the rest of this page talking about crap. No, silly, not poop. Crap. And not even just simple crap. I'm talking about crap. What good is a semester without a good poop joke, right? I mean, am I even teaching if I don't go there? Anyway, CRAAP is an acronym that helps us determine if the source material is worth our time or not. In short, is the source crap or not? So, as you can see, here's a CRAAP test overview video. It's very short. Our library did it. It's fantastic. It'll kind of give you the overview, but I'm going to kind of go through this right now. And CRAAP is 5 different terminologies: currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. Currency has nothing to do with money. It's got to do with the timeliness of the information. You want to make sure that your source material is 5 years old or less, which means right now it's 2025. We do not want anything before 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, January of 2021, okay? I would hope that you can find something within the last 3 years, which will make it even stronger, but nothing older than 2021. You're going to ask when it was published or posted. You're going to ask if it's been updated recently. Maybe it was posted in 1997, but it's been updated every 3 days ever since. That's still a good source, okay? Are the links functional? That shows us that people are paying attention to the website. Is it relevant? It actually must work with your needs. If you're trying to explain something, it has to actually work with what you're trying to explain. It can't just go off on its own, okay? All these questions here, the 5 under currency, the 5 under relevance, they're going to help you understand what's what, and honestly, they're going to help you write a really strong evaluation or analysis of each source, but I'll get to that. Authority is next, and it's the source of the information itself. Who was the author? Who was the publisher? Where did it come from? What was the source? What are the credentials of the author or the organization? These are really easy things to find either through hyperlinks on the document itself, or you can just go to Google and see if you can find the author. Accuracy, we've got another 5 questions there. The reliability, truthfulness, and correctness of the content. So basically, does it make sense? Is it provable? Do other sites also say the same thing? Very helpful. And then finally, purpose. The reason the information exists. There's only 4 questions here, but I want you to remember when we're talking about purpose, the general purpose is always a good piece of dessert. Pie. P-I-E. Does it persuade? Does it inform? Or does it entertain? Persuade, inform, entertain. Okay? And then you can ask yourself, is it fact or opinion? Is it propaganda? Propaganda is something that people just throw out there over and over and just kind of flood the internet with, so you believe them because there's nothing else left to believe besides what they have. Governments do that all the time, okay? So, that's the gist. It's something you heard in English 101, and it's something you'll continue to use. It's worthwhile, but you won't have to do it as much at this level at detail and, as you get better at it. For each one of these, you'll see currency and relevance has an associated video, accuracy has an associated video, authority has an associated video, and purpose has an associated video, and all of them were done by the Delaware Tech library system. Aren't the librarians just peachy keen, Jelly Bean? Okay, cool. So, we've gone through all of that. What's next? Well, the first thing we have is the Unit 1 Topic Development Brainstorm Part 2. So we go into that, and we can see I'm asking you for more things again. There are 3 questions I want you to do for your initial post, and then you have to go back and post again on at least 2 people's other posts. There you go. So I've given you, once again, a sample. Here's the question, here's my answer. Here's the question, here's my answer. I'm also splitting this up for what's important for me and what's important for my audience. And then down here, what are 3 possible debatable questions? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now, if you just follow this formatting, you're going to get great points on this. If you just figure out, like, hey, I'm going to do this and skip over stuff, you're not going to get the points. So I'm giving you a sample for a reason. Take a look at it. It's all about really locking in that topic that we talked about last week and that I went over with your first discussion board. There we go. So I will be replying to those probably Tuesday the 2nd. So there we go. Perfect. Then we go back to here and we talk about the progress checkpoint. So the progress checkpoint is going to be about the exploratory research essay. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. We didn't talk about the exploratory essay. Aha, I got you. So, as you saw back on the announcement under preview, you've got the exploratory research essay due in a couple of weeks. What is it? It's a 3 to 4 page essay that's going to be exploring the topic that you choose by summarizing and evaluating a minimum of 2 sources. This will introduce the topic, summarize and evaluate each of your two sources, and reflect on your research findings. So what I've done is I've given you the structure and content down here. We're going to have a single paragraph introduction. We're going to have 6 body paragraphs. We're going to have research methodology, which sounds a lot scarier than it is, and I'm going to show you a sample in just a minute. You've got a summary and evaluation of the source 1, a summary and evaluation of source 2, each one being a single paragraph. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then your 6th paragraph for the development section is going to be basically the overall explanation of this before your conclusion, okay? Use third person, he, she, it, they, them, or first person when it is appropriate, I, me, my. I don't expect you to talk in the third person about your own ideas. Try to avoid first person plural, like we or our, and do not use second person at all. No, use yours or yourselves. So what's that sample I'm telling you about? Well, it is, I overran it. This document here is also in the announcement. It's kind of taking everything that you just saw and putting it into a very straightforward, no-nonsense format. Okay, we've got our requirements here. You need 2 sources that are 5 years or less. We've got APA formatting. You've got to, go through and do 1 introduction. We've got a 6-paragraph development in here, including your source material. You've got your conclusion. So it's going to be a grand total of 8 paragraphs. That should be relatively easy to get 3 to 4 double-spaced pages. If each paragraph is a half a page, you've got 4 pages right there, okay? So what's it going to look like? Easy peasy. Here is the sample right underneath it. This is APA formatting. If you just copy and paste this in a paper, all you have to do is change the title, change your name, and put my name and the due date, okay? Then down here, we start on the next page. We have our title again. We have our introduction. We have our research questions. You do have to have section subheaders. And then I give you 1, 2, 3 research questions. Isn't that great? You can see them very easily. I tell you where you got stuff from, what sort of search terms you used. Then we have the summary of the first source. We have our evaluation of the first source. We have our summary of the second source. We have our evaluation of the second source. We have our research reflections, very quick, very easy. And then finally our conclusion, followed up by 2 references for your sources. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. And when you do all this in a few weeks, it starts with the progress report, okay? What's the progress report again? Well, it's this. You're going to download this research planner, which I'm going to show you in just a second, and you're going to complete it to the best of your ability. Why do we use a research planner instead of writing an actual draft? Because a lot of people get this weird writer's block and they can't do it. So we are doing a graphical organizer instead. It looks a little bit like this. As I record these on my home computer, I actually use Microsoft Office's dark mode because it makes it easier on my eyes. So please forgive me. It's black and white instead of white and black. But as you can see here, I'm giving you prompts, okay? So what's your general topic? Maybe your general topic is internet security. Maybe it's free healthcare. Maybe it's legalization of drugs, although it shouldn't be. So you're going to put that there. Down here in the introduction, just answer these questions and type right in these boxes. Oop, boxes. They will grow and shrink according to how you type in them. See? All right, so all you have to do is just type in the middle boxes here, and everything will blow up. All right? Follow the prompts. If you do that, I'm actually helping you create the entire paragraph piece by piece. Down here, we have the summary and we have the evaluation. They're going to be identical from source 1 to source 2. So I'm only going to go over source 1. This is the rhetorical information. Excuse me. Put the authors here the date of publication or update here, the title of the article here, where you got it from, what database, what source, what website, whatever, and then this is going to be the URL, http://www.google.com, whatever. Once you do that, you can take that information and put it right here in this initial sentence structure. In the article, title of article, published in, date, located in what database. The authors, John and Sarah, provide the view that, illustrates that, maintains that, and then gives the thesis statement right here. What were they trying to prove overall? By doing this, this actually gives you the very first sentence of your summary. And I promise you, if you write all of your summaries with that as your first sentence, you will never go wrong. Summary of elements for source 1. Okay. What was one of the major details in source 1? What was one of the major details in source 2? Again, source 1, source 2, source 3. Associated citations, very easy. Last name, year, paragraph number. That's all it is. So it'll look kind of like this. Okay? That's all you have to do. And that's going to be the summary for that one. The evaluation, I'm actually asking you to go through and do the CRAAP test on each of these sources, okay? So answer this question, answer these questions here. You know, figure out, using those 5 questions for currency, relevance, authority, the 4 questions for accuracy, the 4 questions for purpose. Just put all your answers in here, and then once you write your evaluation, it's going to be nice and strong. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? And again, summary, source 2, and evaluation of source 2. And then down here, we have our conclusion paragraph, okay? What insights do you have? What do you believe the source you found was valuable to your research? And then you're going to have your actual references down here. If you need help with your references, there's a link right here that takes you to the Purdue OWL. Great website. It can show you how to build things from scratch. Okay? So yes, it's a 4-page document, but as you can see, there's a lot of formatting constants in here. So you really won't be typing 5 full pages. Just relax. Okay? If you have any questions or concerns, please email me. I really hope you're watching this video early in the week rather than Sunday night, because I'm not going to be answering emails until Monday morning now. So that's a lot of material. Masquerading is not a lot. Told you. Have a great week. Reach out if you need me. I'll be looking forward to seeing where your ideas are with the Exploratory Research Essay Planner. See ya.